Hey everyone, Alvi here. This is group one's reading. So if you chose group one, the singles readings, this is for people who are, looking for love, maybe dating, that kind of thing. Then this message is for you. Your first message is nothing is perfect. If you can see that. The camera's being a bit weird today. Might just be because I'm in the dark. So yeah, nothing is perfect. So I'm getting the message really here about maybe like perfectionism. I feel like there's a certain level of perfectionism that people have, or that people in this collective might have, that is actually sort of like it's interfering with your ability to have a good relationship, or to meet people who are the right, who are aligned with you, who are the right people for you. I feel like it says here on the card, um release perfection and strive for excellence, right? So it's sort of a little bit of letting go. It's a little bit of like dropping it has to be this way. I often talk in my readings about having not having really rigid expectations of outcome, managing your expectations. And I feel like this is like a situation where that will be very handy for you. And I'm kind of laughing to myself because as I'm saying this, I'm thinking about these memes and jokes and stuff that you see on the internet, on Facebook and YouTube. No, not YouTube, more Instagram and stuff. They're written quotes, and it says like, me missing 56 red flags because I love him. And then there's somebody texting you and you're like, I don't like the way this guy texts, that sort of thing. That's sort of making me laugh, because that's the vibe I'm getting here. It's like something that you're doing is asking, maybe you're being a bit too it's great to, like, hang on, words. It's great to have ideas about what is good and what is not good for you, and to have standards and things like that. But maybe sometimes we get a little, or you could get a little too focused on minor details that might make you miss out on something really good in the long run. So let's have some more messages for you guys. I'm just trying to work out which, yeah, I think um we'll go here with this deck, the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. What messages do you have for group one? Single people who are looking for love, what messages would you like to give group one about? Might take those ones. I just want to give these an extra shuffle. I think I used them this week, so make sure we don't have all of those energies going on. From the last time I used them, it was putting me off. Sometimes it does. All right, okay. So, and I've just moved on to weak and powerless. So maybe some of you are feeling a little weak and powerless about things. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. This is coming together. So nothing is perfect. Dropping the perfectionism, and understanding that striving for excellence is fine, but perfectionism actually just kind of brings in this vibe of like insecurity and I'm not good enough and stuff like that as well. That's something else that's sort of coming through here. If you're always needing to be perfect, perhaps this is something that's coming through to, coming up for you right now as well. We've just had, I started recording this and I had to stop and restart because my phone just kept going off and it was crazy. There was like so many interruptions. And sometimes I think like these kind of things they're a bit of a precursor to the energy that's going to be in the readings. So having these extra like interruptions from my phone going beep beep every 5 minutes, and like messages and notifications, and I've had a lot of notifications from the Space Weather app over the last few days, but that one that actually made me made me restart this was an X flare. So an X flare is like a really big solar flare. It's one of the most, one of the strongest ones. So we can expect some kind of like frequency shift coming in the next, in the next few days and in the next few hours. You might have already started feeling it. And I feel like this is something that's important for you guys, because it wouldn't have come through if I wasn't, if it wasn't meant to be part of this. So um yeah, I'm not quite sure why I needed to put that in, but my guides are making me talk about it. What we've seen, I feel, is um so yeah, striving for excellence, but oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Sorry. I hate it when that happens. I got completely off track talking about the solar flares. So when we have solar flares, sometimes we can have these collective shifts and things come up to consciousness for healing, for looking at and understanding why you might be feeling like this. And this, I feel like for some of you, this might be um like having self-doubt and self-worth issues come up that are preventing you, like maybe you don't feel like you're good enough, or there's something that you feel about yourself, your body, your appearance, your personality, or something like that, that's making you worry that you're not perfect. But you know what, nobody's actually perfect, and trying to be perfect is not going to do anything but make you more sort of insecure and dig right into that. So I feel like that for some of you, that might be something that's like preventing you from either wanting to put yourself out there, as they say, or in specific situations you might not have the confidence, or um that kind of self-worth or self-belief that other people do. So it's kind of like it's interfering with you calling in this Two of Cups, because we have the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is like your person. I feel like for some of you, this is actually saying drop the perfectionism and the person will come to you. But it's a sort of a headphones. Sorry with sugar, but that's just not quite the quite the right track for that. Um, yeah, so like, yeah, dropping the perfectionism is going to help you come together with the right person, or to help you actually be able to, you know, go out there and meet people and decide, this person's really nice. And it's as I was saying, this is something that seems to be like it's a something that's going both ways. So it might be that you feel a little bit insecure, or there's something that you could address, heal, work on, or something like that, so that you feel more confident about going out there to meet people, or putting yourself on dating sites, or what, however it is that you do things. But there's also this other thing of expecting other people to be extremely perfect, instead of, just kind of meeting them where they are and accepting them for who they are. Like there's a huge merit to being able to hold space for people and accept them as they are. Because if you have this ideal perfectionism kind of stuff going on, and you're like with someone, or you're seeing someone, or you're dating someone, and you think either you think that they're perfect or they have to be perfect, there's always going to be disappointments. Um, that little story there that was coming through then was, it's about like sometimes you might be putting people on a pedestal. This could be something that's happening for some of you as well. It's like when you put someone on a pedestal eventually, or there's a bubble of perfectionism, you think, oh, they're perfect, you've got a big crush on them, and then you find out the truth and it's not half as they're not as perfect anymore, and that's always a really disappointing thing too. So there's lots of different ways that this can be coming through for you guys. um pick your, I was gonna say pick your poison, choose your weapon, but um however it works for you, right? So let's another message here. I do feel like that is someone sort of coming in for you with the Two of Cups showing up. Or there's someone around already, but there's this, this issue with the perfectionism thing kind of blocking it. So let's have a look and see what else, what other messages they want you to know, group one. We have rebuilt the tower, but it was in reverse. So perhaps perfect, perhaps let me just sort of tune into this a little bit more. I'm seeing that for some of you, this whole thing with the perfectionism, maybe putting someone on a pedestal, maybe have expecting too much and not being able to find someone because they don't fit your ideal person, what your ideal person would be, or something like that as well. It's coming from something in the past, right? And as I was talking about, with the solar flares and things like that, I feel like this is something this is kind of a different tower energy than you normally would get it's not like a huge bang divine intervention type thing, but I feel like it's something that has maybe come up for you before. Um and now you're getting this chance to kind of like rebuild yourself or rebuild the way that you do things in relationships or in dating, so that you can kind of step into a newer, better version of yourself. So when I'm looking at the card, what I'm seeing is like the bottom of it's being hit by lightning, and lightning can often mean like, in divine intervention or something like that. But I feel like it's not like it's just pulled a few kind of things away here. It's almost like it's lighting her up to get the power back in her heart to rebuild whatever it is that might be there, that is or has been affected by this need for perfectionism, or however that plays out for you. Can I have one more card from this deck? Let's have a look. Freezing to see. It's in reverse. Yeah, so okay, I feel like, this is oh god. I feel like this might be for some of you a bit of a warning about looking like the two of swords is what that card actually is, they're refusing to see. It's like you don't want to look, or you looked and then you just kind of repressed it. Where did it go? Oh wow, it landed right there. Excuse me for a minute. So refusing to see, this is like not having all of the right information as well. So this could be something that is actually tying in with this nothing is perfect kind of energy. Like just remembering that nothing is perfect, and it doesn't actually have to be perfect, but it can be excellent, is a really good way to actually go in this scenario. So let's have one more. I was going to just get one more, but now I want another. Okay, and then we have detach, but also in reverse. This is interesting. Maybe these cards aren't really meant to be read in reverse. They're not reversal type cards. So what I see is, let me just have a look here. Okay. Yeah. So I think for some of you, and this is strange because this is meant to be a singles reading, but I think that there is someone that a lot of you are kind of into, and you're hoping to be able to rebuild things with them, or you've had an epiphany about it. But or this is something from the past. It's something from the past that's stopping you from moving forward into another relationship as well. That's actually something that's coming through very strongly there. My guides are like whispering in my ears about it. Maybe I feel like there's something happened in this connection, ended, or this past connection ended, and it's a matter of rebuilding yourself, or you have been rebuilding yourself. They just keep pointing to the nothing is perfect and saying, remember, like, don't be such a perfectionist about everything. I know it seems a weird thing because it's always sort of like, make your list and make sure you know exactly what you want. But sometimes you have to be a bit flexible about things as well. So refusing to see is like, there's something there that you don't want to know, or you don't want to see, or it's something that you're denying to yourself as well. And it's about detaching. This is actually really becoming the more of these messages that are coming through, what I'm seeing is it's something that you need to let go of. It could be a past person that you are still into or still kind of, wanting or haven't gotten over yet. And that could be preventing you from finding the right person because that person doesn't measure up to what you want, or it could just be that that there was that scenario that I was talking about where something has happened in a previous relationship that broke the relationship up, I think. And now it's sort of up to you to rebuild. But it's like it's this perfectionism thing that you're not looking at. That's what I think. There's something, and it feels like it's not a massive thing, but it's just a thing that you don't want to really face up to or feel or have to think about or something like that. Um, and it is actually about change. So detach is talking, in any other like traditional tarot type deck, this is the death card, right? So we're talking about a big major change, something that's going to change. Something ending, something new beginning. So maybe it is actually just that, like, holding on to this past situation or person is actually the thing that you need to detach from. It's stopping you from moving forward. That's what I'm kind of getting here. It's like you don't want to look at it, you don't want to see it that way because for whatever reason, maybe that was perfect to you or it is in hindsight, but it wasn't perfect, right? Nothing is. So maybe it's just time to kind of take a really good look at what's going on with you and why you can't let go or why you need to detach from this thing. And that way you can kind of call someone new in or bring someone new in. Let's have a look and see what else they have to say. We'll just keep going with this deck, I think. Here we go. A few more cards here. Share the love and the heart chakra. So share the love's talking about like community, reaching out, spending time with friends and stuff like that. I feel like for some of you, and they've just said this to me too, as I'm looking at the card, for some of you, this is the way that you're going to meet someone. So like perhaps you're kind of isolating, perhaps you're not looking at the entire thing. Like it might be that you're refusing to see somebody who's like right in front of you, or it might be that you are not going out or you're not in the environment that you should be that's going to allow you to meet people. That's also something. It's like, oh, I don't want to go to that place, whatever reason, but it's also something that's sort of coming through as a bit of a perfectionist control issue. And then we have heart chakra. So what I'm feeling for you guys, group one, is like feeling into the heart chakra. Maybe there's something in there that, but well, first of all, if you ever, if you work with the heart space at all, or if you have, you will know that, oh, my eyes just gotten very itchy for some reason. That when you are actually sitting in the heart chakra, it's a very peaceful place, and all of that stuff, this like refusing to see and the perfectionism and stuff, it just kind of drops away because you realize that everything's perfect and everything's not perfect, and it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of, it is what it is, because you're communing with your inner being, your soul, and bringing that part of you out rather than like living through ego, living through, the expectations of the third dimensional world and all of that sort of stuff. So I feel like working with the heart center, the heart chakra, is something that's going to be very beneficial for you. It's also like a place where we experience a lot of self-love, and that could help with the perfectionism as well, because, if you're not feeling confident in yourself, if you are trying to control things by making them perfect or insisting that somebody else is perfect or you're perfect before you're able to, move forward into like meeting people or dating people or something like that. Yeah, maybe just finding that space within yourself where, self-love lives, and developing that, cultivating that, so that you've got this kind of resilience around your heart. Okay, so let's get one more message. I think with the sacral chakra, well, so self-expression, sexuality, interesting things too should come up, really. Yeah, so I'd be looking at that as well. Maybe balancing all of your chakras, perhaps. Who knows? And then controls come up, which is pretty crazy. You can't really. It just always happens. I can't ever imagine that it's going to happen like that, but always the cards come up like this. So you get these extra messages. So control is talking about control. Obviously, it's sort of like, it's the same message as the perfectionism one. It's like you need to let go of trying to control everything just that little bit. You need to find a place where you're sort of surrendered and you're like, it's cool, it's okay. And by being in the heart chakra and in the sacral chakra is like our cauldron of creation, right? So this is where we create things. This is where we manifest from. This is where our desires come from. So whether they be sexual or whether they be physical or something that you want in the physical world, this is where we brew them up before we birth them into the world. So I think maybe for you guys, a little bit of work on these two energy centers here, the heart center, working with, love, self-love, and those kinds of themes, and also being connected to your inner being, your higher self, your soul, so that you know what it is that you desire, so you know what's what it is to focus on and call up and bring into being in your sacral chakra, in your cauldron of creation. Yeah, I think I'll leave that there. I reckon that's a pretty awesome message for you guys. There was lots of different things coming in. There is a chance for you to meet someone, for some of you anyway. I mean, like, it's a general reading, so I can't be specific with everybody. But yeah, just maybe working on letting go of that control, however it sort of lands for you, will be helpful as well. Hopefully you got something interesting or useful out of this. And if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up in the bottom, and also I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye. Hey everyone, it's Alvi here. This is group 2's reading. So if you chose group 2, or this beautiful fluorite, rainbow fluorite stone, you can see that up a bit closer, then this is your reading. Oh, sorry. As soon as I turn the camera on, I start yawning, so there must be some energy coming through. I have been procrastinating doing this reading all morning. I already did it once, like yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before. And I kind of wasn't really feeling it. And yesterday I was heaps inspired, but I didn't have time to do the readings or finish this reading. I did read group 1 and that was fine, but this one I wanted to kind of rewind and do a little different after my guides had asked me to focus more on love and relationships in the readings. So yeah, interesting. And today, procrastination city, because I don't know about you guys, but there's been quite a lot of solar flares, and I'm really feeling it in my body, like a little bit spacey, a little bit tired, but a lot of kind of like, just feel something going on in the cells. And obviously, I'm used to ascension symptoms, as many of you are as well. So it's kind of like, the difference between if you're sick or something else going on. This is like achy, but you could sort of feel it. I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like stretching your cells out and pulling something out, pulling stuff like low vibrational energies and attachments and things out a little bit. So, if you're feeling a bit emotional or something like that, that's probably got, it's probably a contributing factor. So yeah, if you need to rest, just rest. If you need to, yawn, just yawn. If you need to yawn, just yawn. No, you might find that you're extra thirsty or hungry as well, or both. It's a really good idea to follow the idea, like the intuition that your body gives you about what you want to eat and drink. As long as it's like, like really unhealthy or whatever, sometimes it's better to sort of eat intuitively, because your body knows what it needs, so it will lead you or guide you to whatever. Don't mind the smoke. I've got some incense burning. That's just going right past the camera. Anyway, group 2. So group 2's reading is for people who are maybe in a situationship or a casual relationship, in a connection, and you wanting to know what's going on. I'm going to do my twin heart oracle spread for you guys. So it's sort of like having a look at one side of the connection and then looking at the other side of the connection. Sometimes those two sides, like I'll read it for one part of the connection, say I'm reading it for your person, but that might be more resonant for you, and what I'm reading for you might be more resonant for them. So you feel free to kind of swap it around as you feel it fits, and if it doesn't fit, then don't try and make it. Maybe it's for later on, down the track, or maybe it's just not your reading and something else will come up for you. Maybe check out group 1 or group 3. You never know. All of my readings seem to do this. When I do pick a card, I always seem to have like a story that follows along. So, just depending on what comes up, we'll have a look and see what's going on. And now let's get into the reading. So here we go. We have a soulmate. You wouldn't believe it, would you? So with that message coming up, it says embrace a deeper relationship. So what I'm feeling for you guys is that this could be a soul tie, this could be a soulmate. It doesn't always have to be. Like I said, only take it if it resonates, if it feels right for you. But for a lot of you, you could be dealing with a soulmate connection. And let's have a look at the next one as well. So follow your calling. Attend to your life's purpose. All right, so there's 2 different messages already coming through. One of those is that if you are in that kind of on again, off again place, if you're kind of working your way to a more solid vibration in the connection, then it's better to follow your calling. So follow your life's purpose, do your own mission, and focus on that, because that will help you stabilize rather than being always focused on the person and their energy. And I know it's easy to kind of try, and if you can do that, and if you know you can do that, drop in and constantly monitor their energy. But it becomes really unhealthy if you're constantly doing that and you're kind of going along with that, because then you start feeling them, then you start having like that attachment thing it's not a healthy connection, but it's like you can feel them when they're upset, and then they can feel you when you're upset, and it really starts to mess things up. So you don't want to be doing that too much. Trust me when I say, if there's things that you need to know, you will be showing them by your guides or in dreams or through your intuition. You don't need to monitor and check in on people all the time. Plus, it's a little bit, like reading someone else's diary. Even if they are your person, I won't use the twin flame term too much in this reading, because I just feel like it's been done to death and people misunderstand it. But if you have that kind of connection, so we'll call it a deep soul connection, then sometimes you can really feel like it's okay to do that, but it's actually not. They're still a separate person to you. They what's the word? They deserve privacy as much as you do, and you wouldn't like it if they were doing it to you. So maybe that's a That's sort of like a channel message coming through here too. So um, that's an interesting message to start with. So let's have a look at what else we've got here. So soulmate, follow your calling. I feel like for a lot of you, this is asking you to embrace a deeper relationship, and that is your calling. Like you might have this feeling within you that's calling you to embrace a deeper relationship, and maybe you don't want to step into that, or perhaps there's something in the way, like some sort of issue or challenge or healing that you might need to address before you can actually go into that deeper relationship. And there's always, like, it's always about going deeper within yourself, because you can't really go deeper with anyone else until you've gone deeper within yourself. But that being said, I do feel for some of you that you'll be stepping into like a deeper kind of version of this connection or relationship. So perhaps becoming exclusive or something in the next few weeks. Just trying to see what else comes up here. We might just change this song. All right, so let's have a look and see what else is there. Let me do that one either. Okay, that's the best. Just have to have the right tunes for channeling these messages sometimes. So anyway, yeah, let's have a look and see what else we're getting here. We're getting so embracing a deeper relationship and attending to your life's purpose. So for some of you, this could be tied up together. Like maybe your life purpose is tied in with this soulmate or deeper relationship or soul tie or deep soul connection, or however you want to look at it. I'm going to get a couple of angel messages. Actually, no, I think we'll go into the no, they're saying these ones. All right, so we'll go into the Twin Heart Oracle now. So we'll look at both sides of this connection and what's going on both sides of this connection. Let's have a look and see what do you need to know about the connection currently in, or connections. You can have more than one. Don't ever limit yourself to thinking that you can't. I'm living proof. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 now. And that just comes with being able to open up to the fact that once you are very deeply in your own soul, that you can connect with other people in that way, and that you will connect with other people in that way. There's not always one. So don't limit yourself to that. If things are really bad or not working out for you guys, and don't be afraid to step away and pursue a more healthy relationship. Okay, so we got cards for Rick 2's messages. So what do we have here? All right, so on this side we have 2 cards coming up already, 2 messages coming up already. I'm gonna pull the cards and then I'll start reading. So I'll pull a few for both sides anyway, then we can continue on. All right, so we have one more message for the other side, okay? Nearly started reading me. Sounds a bit funny if you can't hear what I'm playing. It's 11 a.m. by Incubus, by the way. So yeah, an appropriate song for a reading about an on and off connection or a shaky connection, or that kind of thing. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? So I will read this side. I don't know what side that is to you. I guess it's the left side to me. So your right side, this side that I'm going to read now. This is about your person. This is where they're at. This is their energy and kind of what's going on for them right now. So, and I'm going to tie in the soulmate card, which is on that side too. So what we will do is we'll just assume they know that you're, a soulmate or a soul connection, right? They're aware of the connection between you. This is what I'm getting. As I said, general reading, I probably didn't say this, it is a general reading, so it won't resonate for all of you, and that's fine. But I see that there is or has been some sort of conflict, or feeling like they feel like there's competition. Maybe you're like, dating, seeing a few different people, and they might find that a bit challenging. My guides just said in my ear, they kind of like it in a way, but it's also a bit challenging. So I feel like maybe it's sort of a situation that you kind of might need to, how would you put it? Tread a little carefully, not like, be really or walking on eggshells type thing, but maybe just, become aware of how things are sort of progressing with them, and like I was just saying, don't read their energy. Maybe sometimes you might need to read their energy a little bit more, just to know how much they need to know, because sometimes a little bit of competition is good. It makes them remember that they love you, and they, maybe that if they were distracted before, that kind of competition-y, fighting for the prize type thing, especially if they're male or masculine, that appeals to them. They like that. So yeah, I would say it's just a little bit of a balance right now. Or making it a balance for you as you speak to them about it, or as you connect with them. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, as I was saying, this is sort of like they're aware that you're connected. At least they might not use the same terms that we do, like soul connection or twin flame, soulmate or whatever, but they know that there's a connection there. They feel it. But they also feel like they do have competition, or like they've got to fight their way through something. It's challenging. Or there has recently been a challenge. Perhaps you met someone else and they felt it, or they just knew it, or maybe you're very open about other people that you're dating and things like that, and this has kind of caused this feeling like there's like a bit of competition here, and I feel like a little bit like it's caused a bit of heartbreak, but it's also could kind of cause them to think, shit, they might actually, that their person, you, might actually like be more interested in someone else. So they better pick up their game in a way, because then we have the Ace of Cups. And having the Ace of Cups coming up, I feel like this is sort of like a renewed offer of love, or remembering how much they love you, or how they're into, and like how into, if I could speak properly, how into you they actually are, when they are reminded that there are other options, that you might have other options. I also have here for them is the Emperor. So the Emperor is, I feel like they're kind of strategizing. They're thinking about, like there's definitely a renewal of how they feel in this connection. They might be sort of planning something. The Emperor is very, very strategic, and he's all about planning and winning and that kind of thing. It's a very masculine principle. So they might be planning on doing something, coming towards you in some way. Gonna grab some more messages here just to get what's going on here. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. And it doesn't necessarily have to be when I'm saying there might be other options, or they realize or think that there might be other options. It could be that you are very work focused, you are very focused on your life purpose, and that's kind of making them feel like they're not getting as much time or attention with you as they used to, because we have that, follow your, what does it say? Follow your calling type thing. So maybe you're very busy working, maybe you're working on something that you really love, maybe you're doing art or something like that as well, something you're very passionate about, or found your life purpose and you're spending a lot of time doing that. It doesn't necessarily have to be that there's other people involved, but that's just kind of the story that I was getting just then. Um, so can we get more messages about the person, about this root truth special person? Ooh, that's lots coming up, but there's just too many. I can't read that many. Messages for, so what is the Emperor strategizing about? What will his moves be? Because as I say, the Emperor is it's sort of like the principles of masculine energy, which is doing something, right? It's taking action. It's not just sitting around thinking, or using their intuition. They're planning a move. They could be planning on making a move. I'm looking at the chess piece here. So it's like, making a move in chess. It's a strategic kind of something that they're thinking about doing. And I want to know exactly what it is. And I'm sure you do too. Whew. There we go. There's some cards. All right. So we have the world. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We will take these ones. There's not too many there. So we have the world in reverse. So they want to make sure that things with you, okay, for some of you, this might be someone that you haven't spoken to for a while. You may be in separation, you may be just in the contact or something like that. Or they're just, your communications with them have kind of dissipated and you don't really hear or talk to each other too much. I feel like for some of you, this is like, well, for all of you, it's like they want to check. They're trying to strategically can't talk properly today. Strategically check that it's not over. They want to make sure it's not over. So for some of you, your person could be like hanging on, waiting in the wings, kind of just waiting to see what happens. That might be their strategic move. Or yeah, I'm just getting not finished. Something's not finished. There's unfinished business here if you're not talking right now. And look, they're making the 2 of Wands, so they're definitely making some kind of plan, whether it's a plan to come and see you, to travel with you, go away somewhere with you. The 2 of Wands is sort of like planning, but also like about world travel, about distance, things like that. So this could be something like, that maybe they're planning, maybe they're at a distance from you at the moment and they're planning to, come to see you or ask you to go see them, or maybe they're planning like a romantic getaway to kind of bring this new love energy that they have, this renewed energy, this renewed connection or need for connection or want for connection back in and around for you. So like maybe a romantic getaway, something like that. Somehow they're planning to either come to visit you or you visit them. That's what I'm getting, like seeing each other. And there is a plan. You're making a plan for. So we've got the Hanged Man there. So they're waiting on something. I don't know what it is. So that's an interesting one. So these plans are kind of like, it's like there's a stasis, but might be some kind of divine intervention is what I'm getting here. It's like they want to make this move, but it's not quite ready yet or something like that. So yeah. Looking at the Hanged Man, feeling this energy. It's like they're looking, they're watching, but they're not actually ready to make that move yet. I think they may still just be kind of strategizing. They're probably thinking about it. They're probably planning it in their head, but they're not ready to kind of make that move yet, perhaps. Or maybe they've made like, maybe they've come to you and kind of offered their cup of love, but that was as far as it went because they're still kind of, for some of you, I think they're still kind of hurting or worried about what that situation is for that challenge, that options kind of energy that they're getting from you. And for others of you, I feel like it's something, it's like they're waiting for inspiration or they're waiting for guidance or something like that. It's like their guides, they're kind of not doing anything because they're not getting the feeling that they should, if you know what I mean. Um, their guides are kind of like orchestrating things in the background and they might not be aware of it. Um, they might do certain things and not actually realize why they're doing it. A lot of us do this, right? We sort of live through ego quite a lot, and then all of a sudden we'll get this like intuition, and then, oh yeah, maybe I should do this. And we don't really know why we're doing it, but then when we do it, it's like, oh, that's why. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. It's sort of like they're waiting for that push from the divine, for that push from their guides or from their team. And then we have the last card we have, the Six of Swords. I'm going to say, I'm not sure which way it's meant to be. Yeah, so it's upright as well. So this is, okay, so there might be some kind of other issue that's going on with them right now. And this could be tied in. It looks like it could be something to do with their work as well. Perhaps they're also following their calling. Perhaps their work is their calling or something like that. They might have other things going on, family, that kind of thing, friends, that is kind of preventing them from coming forward to you straight away, but they are planning on it, right? They're thinking about it, but they have to move away from whatever troubled waters or like emotional problems or whatever they were having in the past, or that stuff that's still around. They're still waiting for that to move along. I'm going to go over to this side now. So this is for you guys. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily, like if that didn't resonate for you as to what you're kind of picking up on or is going on in your person's life, this side might resonate, but generally I'll just read it for you guys. So follow your calling. And then we have the Page of Swords. So I feel like you're like plugging into a lot of new things. This is like learning new energy, it's focusing on things, it's a lot of kind of thinking and learning and doing. And it's a bit of like beginner energy. So you might have started something new. As I was saying in the beginning, I was sort of like, well, maybe you've just discovered what your purpose is, or your purpose has become more clear and now you're plugging back into it and you're putting a lot more energy into this. So this could be you learning, going back to school, going to university, changing jobs and having to learn and train for whatever job you're training for, or, training and learning for whatever it is that you want to do, or learning about things that are connected with your purpose, because your purpose doesn't have to be the thing that you do for work, but it could be, but it could also be lots of different things that you just, that you feel really passionate about, fulfilled when you do them. So I feel like you're doing this because you're working towards this page of 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups is like, a balanced relationship and family type situation. This is what you want. You're trying to find balance. Maybe you're, like I said, as you're working on different things to bring this balance, to bring this 10 of Cups energy into your life. And as I was saying that, my guide was saying whether or not your person is involved, right? So you're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on whatever that is. And then we have the Justice in reverse. So I feel like you feel like there's been a bit of an injustice. It's almost a bit of a mirror. If they think that you're, doing something and you think that they're doing something in a way. Justice in reverse. So this is a big thing for you. It feels heavy. It feels like It's like, it's for them, this is something slightly, it's not a huge deal, but for you, it feels like it is. It's sort of, I feel like something has created a rift in the connection that perhaps wasn't there before, and much more so for you. It's sort of um, pushed you back into, as we used to say in the twin flame community, is like you follow your mission, and the more you follow your mission, the more aligned you are with yourself, and the more aligned you are with yourself, the more you call in your partner. So this could be something that's happening on with you like this. Is like you've been kind of, it might not feel divinely guided, it might not feel like something that was meant to happen, but in the long run, I think you'll look back and just think, well, that injustice was actually, the step for me to go back to focusing on myself and my own shit and getting my stuff together so that I can have my 10 of cups, whether this person is part of my life or not. So you're doing the right thing, even though it might not feel particularly great right now to be separated and also not be talking to what's gone on from what I'm sitting. Yeah, so this injustice, I feel, you feel like, what I'm feeling is like, it's like you felt like it was all going towards the 10 of cups, and then something happened, and then this injustice came in. So it's kind of spun you back around into focusing back on whatever it was you were focusing on, maybe on before, or you were working on before. I don't think this is something new. I think it's just something that you focus on when you're maybe not in a connection, or you're not talking to them, or something like that, and then you kind of forget about it because you get caught up in life and things. Let's see what other messages we have. I don't know what's going on with my playlist today, but I'm not impressed. Anyway, I keep having to skip songs because I don't know them, or they're just not the right vibe. Okay, so let's have a look. Justice in reverse. Injustice. Something didn't work out. You feel like you didn't get, you feel like you're being ripped off, is what I'm getting here. It's sort of like you expected something to happen and it just didn't. And I feel like that's like 600 cards here. We've got the, no. Okay. All right, so we're going to read these cards because there's only actually only three. It seemed like there was heaps. So we've got the 2 of cups in reverse. So this is definitely something that's happened. A fight, a falling out, something happened. You discovered something about them, or they discovered something about you, or it's a misunderstanding. That's what I'm getting. Sort of like, because it's on both sides. Like, you think it's over, they think there's a challenger, and for all I know, for some of you that might be the case. Yeah, it might be like that you kind of realized or thought that they were doing something that they maybe were or weren't doing. It doesn't really matter what happened, but something made this connection kind of be severed. The trust that was in it before is no longer there, and in doing that, perhaps you've gone and sought comfort with someone else, or just said, no, that's it, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore, you can go do your own thing, or whatever. And then we have, I don't think I'm the other one. I'm trying to read the way they came. So, and then we have the Lovers. So it's like making a choice. I feel like you guys are actually going to have a choice coming up again. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is about planting another seed. So as I said, there is going to be a renewal. There's going to be they'll come back around, or you'll come back around, or you'll both be divinely guided to come back and talk to each other, or work it out in some way. Because I feel like I'm going to just clarify the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles again. It really looks like you were very heartbroken, like you had your heart set on this, yeah. And while I was, talking about it being that's what you're working on now, but you're working on it with like thinking, well, they're not going to be around, or I'm doing this whether they're there or not. But you had your heart set on the 10 of Cups with them. And then there was whatever this was that's happened between you guys. So I feel like maybe, for For some of you, I feel like it's a misunderstanding. For some of you, I feel like you found something out, or they found something out, or, the situation, perhaps if you are not in a really, what's the word? If you're in a connection that's like you're dating and you both kind of know that this connection is what it is, right? But you're not like you're still dating other people and things like that. I feel like that could have played a big part in it. Maybe they thought that you were spending more time with someone else, or you thought that about them. But for others of you, I feel like this is something like the word infidelity is coming up, or something along those lines. It's like you felt really betrayed. You felt like there was a massive injustice, or you have done recently, or you will. And there is this like the Two of Cups in reverse is like the Two of Cups is like that's your marriage card, that's your person card, that's your okay, it's right. It's not at me. But in reverse, with the Justice in reverse, that kind of tells me like you've given up, or it's been split, right? But then you have the Lovers coming up. So the Lovers, this is a choice in love. I feel like this is what you really want as well. If you have a look at that card, it's just like they're just gazing into each other's eyes. They don't give a shit about what's going on around each other. So maybe this is like deep down, this is what you both want. But at the moment, it's sort of like it's not quite there yet. I think like maybe a lot of you might be healing from something. I feel like you may be waiting on this sort of like divine intervention type thing or something like that. But it is going to come back around from what I can tell. They're moving away from whatever trouble it was. You've got the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. So that's part of like planting a new seed, beginning something new. And you've got the Ace of Cups here as well. So beginning something new on their side too. And I do feel it's like you're beginning something new together, beginning something new with other people. Just so I clarify that. So let's get a couple more for this side. And then we'll get a conclusion card. And conclusion, it just means for the next whatever, however many weeks, days, whatever. It's not a permanent conclusion. And readings are never set in stone anyway. I give guidance, not gospel. Nothing's ever set in stone because it's all just based on the current energetic trajectories, which can change with free will, which can change with the energetic shifts. There's so much to it, right? That you can't, if it resonates and it gives you help and it does actually come to sort of land in your life, then that's great. But if not, it just means that you were on a different trajectory, or you exercised free will and you changed your path, which is fine. That's what we're meant to do. Oh, that smoke's getting right in my throat today. Okay, Ace of Swords. So we've got a lot of aces. I feel like beginnings. I feel like with the Ace of Swords, this is like an epiphany, an understanding, something that's coming through to you that you may not have thought of before, a different way of thinking of it. If you have a look at that card, it's sort of like going deep within the mind to find that light and connection to, there's like all symbols and stuff around. So I feel like it's a bit of alchemy, a bit of magic sort of coming through. That way that we walk down the spiral staircase into our minds and kind of like expand our hearts as we do it. What's the word? It's a symbiotic type experience. Like you're in your heart center, but your thoughts are changing as well. And I feel like you'll see or understand something differently, and that's what's going to bring you this kind of like the Page of Pentacles, this new or renewal of this connection. All right, so let's have a look and see what we get for our conclusion card, or so. What is the conclusion for this reading? How many have we got here? No, that's too many. Oh dear. I just want one message, you know, like one to be one ring to rule them all. I honestly don't even watch the Lord of the Rings or anything that much. It's just whenever I'm doing readings for some reason, it always um analogies from the Lord of the Rings seem to come out of my mouth. There you go. All right. Can we get a conclusion message for group two? There we go. That one's kind of popped out. All right, we have King of Wands. See, this is courage and it's also renewal of passion. We have every suit, the ace of every suit in this reading. So this is definitely something coming back around. It's like new beginnings. Where's the other ace? There we go, ace. So 4 aces, right? You could think of that as 1111. This ace, 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 1, 1, 1, 1. It's definitely, yeah, I just feel like things are, and you know what? The song that I'm listening to right now is called The Motherlode by Macedon, right? And the words are this time, things will work out just fine. So if that's not a sign, I don't know what is, right? So yeah, amazing reading, guys. And I just got a massive chill in too. So yeah, things are coming back around. Like, don't be too impatient and don't let yourself get dragged down. You'll work things out, but it might take a little bit of time. And it might take a little bit of divine intervention as well. When I put the mouse, there it is. Okay, so we will leave it there. If this reading resonated with you and you would like your own reading that is similar to this to find out what's going on in your own personal connection or experience, you can use the link below to book a reading with me. What else was I going to say? Also, if you need coaching in anything like this, you know, I do soul coaching. So I have a coaching package which is available now. It's through private message, so you won't find it on my website just yet. I haven't put it up there. So yeah, if you were interested in that, please let me know. I've been doing this for a long time. I was in the twin flame community for, I don't know, since 2015, 2016. So that's quite a long time, 8 or 9 years. Going through my own journeys, going through my own awakenings. I've had plenty of experience, trust me. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. And hopefully you like this. You got some guidance. It's helpful to you. And if so, please leave me a like, a comment. If you had other messages come through while you were watching, which is what often happens, you can leave those in the comments too for other people to read. If there's something that you thought I missed or something that just came through to you that you think is important to share, go for it. I think that's an amazing thing to do. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed it and I will catch you next time. Just try to work out where to end this. Oops. Ah, there it is. They changed it on me. Hey guys, it's Alvi here. This is group 3's reading. I had to move some things around so that I could set up for the reading, and I put the little crystal that I had on group 3 somewhere else. So we're just going to we're gonna substitute it with this lovely one here. So if you chose group 3, I know it's not the same, right? But if you chose group 3 or that little what's it called? Tree of Life amethyst point that I had up here in the beginning, and this is your reading. Excuse me. It's a bit cold and my top's riding up at the back. Okay, so your first message, group 3, is life is opportunity. Love deeply. Live deeply, centered in love. Love deeply, centered in live. If you can see that, I'll try and put it up there so that sometimes no, it's not going to work. But anyway, life is opportunity. What a great message. I think it's sort of like, I feel like with life is opportunity coming up, it's kind of reminding you that there's more out there than just what's going on in your life right now, to remember to look for the opportunities and opportunities to live deeply centered in love. So perhaps there's things coming up for you in your connection, in your relationship, that are kind of triggering perhaps, and it's actually a way that sorry, my hair's just decided to move that horrible horrible mess. I always look like I slept in a bush anyway, so I give up. But I really do. It doesn't matter how many times I brush my hair a day. It's just, I might as well just go back to having dreadlocks like I used to. So life is opportunity. Let's have a look in the book. I haven't done this for the other two readings, but this one just, I feel like there's something in here. So group 3, just to reiterate as well, I wrote this up on the post that I put in Facebook, but in the Facebook group and on my page, where you could choose your reading, and I probably also put it in the beginning as well. But this is for people who are in the connection and they're living together, or just in an exclusive relationship and want to know what's going on in their love life, because there might be some stuff coming up right now, which is what I'm getting. So life is an opportunity to experience meaning and purpose in what we choose. As we journey through life, infinite possibilities show up along the way to respond creatively to what happens to us. The challenge is to develop harmony and balance in whatever we do in a way that brings us peace and joy. So yeah, as I said, I feel like there might be some things happening for you in your connection, or even just in your personal, life, that may be making you feel like you're a bit unbalanced, and asking you to find where you find the harmony, the balance, the peace, and the joy. This could mean, like, doing healing, having a coach, doing some work around what's in your subconscious and what your subconscious patterns are, and things like that. But let's get back into this. So if we live our lives as a series of things we need to do, life will somehow feel difficult. Oh, okay. So maybe this is sort of like living through the humdrum. It's a bit of a boring, let's just go through the motions kind of energy that's coming through with that. So what could make life enjoyable is to be able to choose what we truly like to do. We have been given endless talents that we may not be utilizing. So there may be some things that you used to do that bring you joy and harmony that you haven't been doing. We have lots of talents. Every single person that does. Maybe you've got some undiscovered talents as well. Where are we? We've been given endless talents that we may not be utilizing. Our soul is on a journey to awaken the beauty and power within us. We can develop a more exciting life by letting creative energy surge through us. When we allow our dreams to be an incentive and an inspiration, we can certainly manifest a reality that is centered in bliss. So as I'm reading this, I'm getting this message to remind you to, like, follow your dreams, as in you might be dreaming about things that you'd like to do, or you might be dreaming about these opportunities that are coming up. I do feel like you've got opportunities coming up, but you have to be open and receptive to noticing these opportunities. So this could be an opportunity for you, just to make a pun of it. This could be an opportunity for you to become more receptive and more open to noticing things when there are, moments where your portals, that when you can jump through into doing something different, making life a bit more exciting. And as this pertains to like relationships, there's so many opportunities where you can bring like more excitement into your relationship. Maybe it's become a little stale. Maybe it's like, there goes my batteries. Let's take my headphones out. There's no point having them if they're not playing any music. So yeah, there's always opportunities to bring more excitement and more fun and joy and harmony into a relationship if you are open and receptive to noticing when those opportunities come up. You think that's bad? You should see group 2. The beginning of that, I couldn't even speak. I don't know what was going on. My mouth was just not complying with what I was trying to do. So, an important fact to always remember that is that you are living to experience joy, love, and joy. It's happening again with yourself and others. When you truly, oh, sorry, I've jumped a whole line. So, when you truly recognize and accept this fact, your relationship with yourself and others will become enhanced. You will experience the grace of a very gentle and natural transformation as you move within the creative flow. Instead of trying to learn ways to become successful, let love develop your personal initiative. Remember that no one pushes artists or inventors to accomplish anything. They act on their own motivation to create. You have what you need to transform your own life. I'm sorry. You have what you need to transform your life. A happy life will be your reward when you utilize love, faith, patience, and perseverance to reach for it. So that's a very interesting message already. I'm kind of getting like things might be a little bit dull in your relationship. Maybe you're just in that space where, you're just going along, as I said, to going doing the motions, going to work, coming home, eating dinner, going to bed, that kind of thing. And you might be feeling a bit sort of meh about the whole thing. I feel like, as I said, as I was reading, like now is the time for you to start looking for opportunities to make things more exciting. And as I was reading that, my guides are saying, yeah, this could be like spicing things up in the bedroom. Perhaps things in that department have become a bit, we do the same thing all the time. Exploring that kind of aspect of yourself a bit more, or being more open to, new things in that way, but also in any other way as well. So I am going to do this reading in the twin. It's my own spread, and I can't remember what I call it. I can't get the words out. Twin heart love oracle reading. I did it in the last reading as well, so I'm laughing at myself because I know what it is, but sometimes the words just don't flow as well as they could. So yeah, this reading, the way that I lay the cards down, on one side I will do like messages for you and about you, and then I'll do messages about for your person and about your person on the other side. And these things don't always resonate. Sometimes sometimes you might need to swap them over, or if the side that I'm reading for your person resonates more with what you're going through, then perhaps the other side is more what's going on with them. And other times things don't resonate at all, and that's fine. It might just be that it's not the right message for you. It's not the right message for you right now. In that case, go back and look at group 2 or group 1, or just put it on the shelf of your mind and see if anything comes up later on. Okay, so let's get this done. Let's get these messages out for you guys. Group 3. Okay, well, this is your side. Okay. Okay. Wow. That's some pretty heavy energy there. Thanks. I'm not sure if that's the right message, but the cards don't ever really lie. I can put them back in and see if we get something else, but they came out pretty succinctly. So okay, we have person side. Yeah. get there eventually, guys. I'll stop throwing half the deck on the table. All right, so there we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right, we'll get a few more messages after that, but it's easier to read it with just a few to begin with. So, life is opportunity. We're deeply centered in love. So on your person side, we have the Chariot. So this is like some kind of fast moving energy moving forward into something. Yeah, it's very interesting. These cards come up in reverse. So we have the Strength card in reverse, so unconditional love or courage, strength. But in reverse, that kind of means that they're not really plugged into that right now, or weren't. This feels like past energy, although it is kind of meant to be what's going on right now, or it can also sort of come through as what created the current situation. So, Chariot and Strength in reverse. I feel like this is a lot of kind of doing things from maybe not thinking about what they're doing, following their animal instincts. And you can see this carriage is being drawn by two horses, and they're both kind of trying to go in a different direction. They're meant to represent balance, like black and white that day, but I feel like they're this sort of like looking at this energy and just feeling into this energy with the Strength in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse as well. It's like actions, fast moving actions, but made by confusion, or made through ego, or just sort of like pleasing themselves in a way, like following their animal instincts rather than following their unconditional love, their soul, their hearts. Maybe they made some shitty moves, or something like that. It really is not. Yeah, and then losing their independence because of that in some way. Or I don't know. I'm kind of getting the word codependency coming up when I'm looking at the Nine of Pentacles, because this is, the self-made man or woman. It's financial independence, so maybe it could be a loss of finances or money or something in the world. They lost some kind of, worldly thing. This person perhaps lost their house, or lost their job, because they were not really focusing on where they were going with the Chariot. They were just kind of bolting ahead and not really like paying attention. Randomly, then we have the Hierophant. So this is about some kind of established thing. So it could be religion, it could be spirituality, it could be marriage as well. Yeah, this is really weird energy, so that's why I'm taking so long for it to come through. I'm trying to get like more deeply into this energy, but it is very odd to read. So it's kind of like they moved forward to the wrong, like they had the wrong idea, or they just got carried away with something, and it's kind of fucked everything up, basically. Fucked everything up. They thought they were moving towards something spiritual or something along those lines. I got sort of like this feeling of a Kundalini awakening that's gone wrong, right? So sometimes when people have a Kundalini awakening, they have spiritual psychosis, or it just like it's sort of a bit like being on cocaine in a way, and it's like they don't care. It's like whatever has come up for them, it's like I'm feeling into a bit of that energy. It's like being a bit crazy, maybe believing, like the devil's got you or something like that. But I feel like your person they were moving very quickly towards this. This was their goal, but something's kind of upset things, and that now that them, well, not now, but they have been moving very quickly towards some things that just weren't, I don't know, they weren't, they weren't aligned, they weren't part of their path, and it's created this issue of, they're not living from their heart center. They're not, and they've lost something in the third dimension. So whatever that might be, it might be losing money. I just had something about a gambling addiction come through to me. Perhaps this person is an addict of some description, and that's why they're kind of, acting out, or something like that. Wow, crazy, crazy energy. So let's see what's going on here. So on your side, it's not looking, and I don't like to be a deliverer of depressing messages, but it's not looking great. Although this can all be the mind, right? A lot of the time our minds make things seem a lot worse. This could be also just tying into the life as opportunity message, and that whole energy I was getting was like, things just are boring. It's like, well, although with this energy coming through, I'm totally sure boring is the right word. Perhaps the loss of finances or the loss of being able to live through their heart has kind of created a rift between you. There's no, like, the intimacy is gone or something like that. And intimacy doesn't have to mean like something sexual. Intimacy means, like, into me, I see, so they can see into you, you can see into them, and it's got a lot to do with being able to trust each other. So perhaps that's something that's sort of coming up for you guys as well. So moving towards the wrong things, I guess. This is just what I'm getting, right? Then we have the Hierophant, and then we have the Lovers in reverse. All right. Okay, so this is very specific. So what I'm seeing is, like, perhaps your person was thinking about someone else, like they had feelings for someone else. Maybe they were moving towards them very quickly. You probably picked up on it. But somewhere along the lines, they changed their mind, right? So I don't know, like, how this plays out in your world, but there's lots of different ways that this can happen. It might not be that they ever acted on it. It might just be that, like, they were reminded that they have a divine union with you, or a marriage with you, or something that feels divine and connected with you, and it stopped them from going ahead. It stopped that Chariot energy, and brought them back to change their mind, because the Lovers is a choice in love. I feel like whatever choice they were making before, which doesn't look like it was a good choice, they've changed their mind. They stopped themselves, they whatever, because then we have the Two of Cups come up, right? So, and then Justice. So it's almost like whatever was going on with them, whatever direction that they were going in, and whatever, whatever, they might have been moving in the wrong direction, but I feel like they were kind of like divinely, there was some kind of divine intervention. There was some kind of like moment where they were like, I can't actually do this. I want to do this, but I can't actually do this. I actually love my person, you, and I'm not going down that road with you, with this other person. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to come back, because as I was saying, I was picking up on boredom. I was picking up on that, like, it's the same thing, and sometimes that's what happens. It's like, well, we meet someone else, they give us a big spark up, and we're interested in them because they're like new, shiny object syndrome a little bit coming through here. But I feel like, yeah, they realize their mistakes. They've come back around, and they realize their mistakes, and they're bringing justice back around because they realize they haven't treated you well. You don't have to keep these people in your, if this is resonating for you, you don't have to take them back if they're coming back, or it's up to you whether you decide, is this a supportive energy for me to be in, is this a supportive connection for me to be in, or you choose to go on your own. And the reason that I'm saying this mostly is because the cards that I can see here that I pulled for you guys are pretty intense. So I feel like there's a lot of internal conflict for you, or you feel like there was competition as well. This card in the upright means that there's competition, but I can sort of feel with it in the reverse for you guys. This is something that you haven't really, like, you've sort of been keeping it to yourself. Like, you knew about it, but you didn't say much. But it broke your heart anyway. You know, you're obviously or have been in a lot of pain, or you're confused, or you were confused. This is sort of the energy that brought you to where you are right now. So the Three of Swords, it's just emotional pain, broken heart, internal conflict coming from the Five of Wands in reverse as well. So it's sort of like you didn't understand what was going on, or you knew what was going on, but you kind of didn't want to let go, and you felt like you wanted to sneak away, or they were sneaking away. This is what it felt like, right? This is what it felt like for you, and it may even still feel like you are dealing with someone who is sneaky, who has been trying to get the upper hand on you somehow. You know, maybe there's a bit of player energy or something going on here, making you feel like you can't trust them, right? They're sneaking around. But then we have Temperance. So I feel like while this has all happened, or it may sort of just still be happening a little bit, the Temperance card that's coming in, it's helping you to find balance. The figure on this card, I'll show you the card again. The figure on this card is showing like angel wings. So I feel like, again, with this divine intervention, like it's almost mirroring the Hierophant and the Temperance, right? So they had a divine intervention, you had a divine intervention, whether that came from within yourself, or it came from, you know, your guides or your team, or from Source herself, or your higher selves. Something happened here where all of this energy and a lot of this stuff, like, you might have picked up on their interest in someone else, and that might have been enough to trigger you into this feeling like they're sneaking around and not having any trust for them from previous situations. It might not have actually been the case. Like I said, I don't know that they actually, I'm not picking up that they actually went ahead with it, but I think there was like feelings there. There was thoughts about it, like wanting to move forward into this with somebody else, or, you know, just looking for something interesting, you know, something out of the ordinary, out of that ordinary grind. And look, this doesn't necessarily have to be about a person. As I said, I was picking up on like gambling addiction. So it could be that they were out looking for, you know, getting a thrill somehow, whether it be like, you know, playing the pokies, or betting high things in the casino. That didn't come out right. You know what I mean? Going to the casino and, you know, spending a lot of money, or going out and getting really drunk, or just, you know, doing that kind of crazy shit, and it's created this issue with you. I am picking up strongly on addiction, even though there's no the devil card's not here, and that's usually an indicator. But I feel like yeah, like this isn't necessarily something that's sorry, I will be back. I have to pause this so I can let my cat out. All right. So yeah, sorry, as I was saying, the kitty was at the door meowing to get out. He wants to go eat something. This doesn't have to be like there was another person. It feels a lot more. The more I read into it, the more I'm feeling like some kind of, yeah, like there is an addiction that's come up that you didn't know about. It could be porn, it could be gambling, it could be, you know, drinking, other kinds of risky behaviors, perhaps, because of this like humdrum type feeling. And I feel like you feel it too, but you are more able to deal with it, or you understand that relationships go through, you know, they go through rough patches, and sometimes things are just bland and whatever. I do feel like the trust was lost, but somehow, or rather, there's been this like divine intervention, or you come to some understanding, you've understood that you come into balance somehow. And I feel like it's something to do with your guides. I feel like it's something to do with healing as well. Um, whether this was moving away from you, or it was like, I feel like sometimes, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be a bit of a strange thing to say, but like, I feel like often when someone's addicted to something, that becomes their lover, right? So you might feel jilted, not because they're seeing someone else or they were interested in someone else. I mean, for some of you, that might be the truth, but for most of you, what I'm picking up here is that this is somebody who's got an addiction to something. I don't know what it is exactly. Everybody has different things. They might be, as I've gone through a few different things, and they're the main things that I hear about people having issues with, right? But I do also feel like whatever they were into or whatever they were doing to excess, that was losing money, that was losing like the stability in this third dimensional world or in their life, somehow there was like this, as I said, divine intervention. Something stopped them, and it was the thought of losing the connection with you that has actually turned things around for you, and brought back this energy of Two of Cups. Like, they want to reconcile this connection, they want to bring it back together, they want to give you the justice that you deserve, for what you had to go through. So you found temperance, you found a balance. I'm not quite sure exactly how you found a balance, but good on you and well done that you did. This doesn't look like it's an easy situation. I feel like let's see what other messages we have for you guys. Group 3. I knew we could that group 2 maybe before. It is group 3. Sorry, guys. I've got it completely wrong. All right, let me just check. I don't want to be reading 10 different cards. All right, so we'll read the top 3. All right, so fast moving energy. You guys could have been in a separation. You could have like stopped communicating, right? The 8 of Wands is like all of a sudden things turn around. I feel like this is them coming to you to explain things, to communicate with you. Perhaps you just, you might live together and not really be talking to each other. I feel like that's going to change. I feel like there's going to be, and it's going to be positive communication. I mean, with the colors on this card, it can't be anything bad, right? I feel like the lines of communication are opening up. With you guys again, I feel like you're going to get the truth from this situation, and it might not be what you thought it was. It might not be as bad as you thought it was. I feel like really looking at this is a situation where when you're in a deep soul connection type thing, it's really much easier to trigger each other into old wounds. It's like it's sort of part and parcel of it, but sometimes it happens so intensely that you don't actually realize what's going on, and the next thing you're like down in the depths, feeling like shit, being heartbroken, all of this stuff. And sometimes it's like you reacted instead of taking a breath and thinking about it and coming into the calm, regulated nervous system thing. But I feel like you guys have found that some way to regulate your nervous system and to bring yourself back to your centered truth rather than that. And that is probably helping with the 8 of Wands. I am also picking up on a situation of sort of like feeling panicked and then feeling relieved because they're coming towards you with this 2 of Cups, this offer, and bringing you justice in some way. See what else we have for group 3, and then it's a 2 again. Okay, so you will find yourself in that nest, rest, digest kind of energy. Everything rhymes. The 4 of Swords. This is resting after a fight. It's like repairing your heart. It's remembering how to come back. Truly, I feel like this is like, yeah, as I said, they're bringing the justice back, and they're bringing the the love back, basically, the love that you thought you lost. And that's what I feel like. It's sort of like, I feel like the energy coming through is them communicating to you that they still love you, that this was a mistake, that things just didn't, maybe it wasn't quite what you thought, or maybe it was what you thought, but they've realized their mistakes and they want to apologize, that kind of thing. And you are, I feel like the justice coming through to you is that you're no longer kind of stressing over it. You don't need to stress anymore. The communication's open back up between you. And now you're kind of like wanting to rest as you do when you feel safe again. Okay, so let's see what other messages. Okay. And then we have the star. And then I think I'm going to call that the conclusion card, because that is a beautiful card. So it's bringing back hope and sort of opening up to a bigger experience again. I feel like this is kind of reflecting the first card that we had, which is life as opportunity. And what that's really saying to me is like, you're going to find the opportunities again to bring the life and the love back into your connection and back into yourself as well. And in a more balanced way, but also in a way that allows you to be sort of more honest and open. Perhaps they're going to seek help, or they already have, or something like that. I feel like no matter, like the energy in the beginning of this reading was so heavy, and I'm really, really sorry for any of you guys who this is actually resonating with, because this is something really difficult to go through. But it's coming good, right? Whatever you choose, you can choose whether you want to continue with this or not. You don't have to stay in it. Even if it is a soul connection, you don't have to stay in it. Sometimes that's the lesson. But if you do, I feel like you're going to find those opportunities to sort of like repair the bond, repair the connection, repair the trust, and things like that. Because the star offers not just hope, but like, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's completely lost me. The star offers hope, but it also offers like, it's a bit of a wish fulfillment type energy as well. So I feel like things are going to come really, really good for you. This could take, a while though. It's not going to be instant, although I feel like the instant kind of well, maybe not instant, but within the next couple of weeks, things are going to start to smooth out a lot more, and you're going to feel a lot safer and a lot more, what's the word? You're both going to feel a lot more sort of stable in the connection. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that, and hopefully you got some guidance out of it, or some help or something like that. And if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If if you liked it. If you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe so you can get more readings like this. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I have services. If you're interested, I do coaching, and readings and hypnotherapy and energy healing. So yeah, just check the link in the box below if you're interested in any of those things, and you can come across the site and find me and book, or you can private message me on Facebook as well, or here on YouTube, to discuss if we're a good fit to work together, things like that. And other than that, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.